Hey everybody, it's Chad from Six Blog, and I've got to say this has probably been the most difficult video that I've ever had to make for my YouTube channel, my blog, or whatever. I know a lot of people have been expecting a video documenting my John Muir Trail through hike that I planned and posted about, maybe a bit annoyingly so much. But anyway, I know a lot of people have been expecting some kind of trip report or something from that, and here it is, almost 2 months past the date, the time that I would have finished, and I haven't posted anything as far as the trip itself. Let me just go ahead and say the trip did not go as planned. It was supposed to be a through hike. It turned out it was a section hike, and it was a hard trip for me for two reasons. One, I was super homesick. I had some issues with my son before I left. He was supposed to have came. He didn't come. And there were some things there that kind of took my mind out of that headspace that it needed to be in to be able to be out there and just kind of get away from everything and enjoy it and go through with it. And besides that, I ended up getting a chest cold at Guitar Lake the night before we were supposed to climb Whitney. As far as that's concerned, some people said that it was probably the elevation. I disagree with that. That was, I think, night 6 at elevation for us, and I had had no symptoms whatsoever or reason to believe that I wasn't acclimating it the way I was supposed to have been. Like I said, that was night 6. I had been taking Diamox since 2 days before we even left. I was taking 125 milligrams. I cut it in half, and I would take 2 of them a day. But I ended up getting a chest cold, and I think the night before we were at Guitar Lake, we stayed at Soldier Lake, jumped into the lake there. It was super cold, and I think that's kind of where I started getting sick. The next day we were at Guitar Lake, jumped in that, and oh my gosh, that was so freaking cold. But anyway, within about an hour and a half after getting out of that lake, I started having some breathing troubles, and my chest, I just had chest congestion. And one of the biggest reasons I say I don't think that it was really anything to do with elevation is even after I got home here at 500 feet, it was still a week or a week and a half before I was kind of over what I had. Coughing up phlegm. So basically my lungs were just, it was a chest cold. I had a bunch of junk and crud in my lungs, made it hard to breathe. And yes, at 10,000 feet and above, whenever you've got a chest cold, it's going to be even harder to breathe. So that was one part of it. I think that I could have pushed through that, though, if it wouldn't have been for the fact of everything that happened with my son before I left. Honestly, I think it was more of a mental thing that took me off the trail than it was a physical thing. But the mental thing or the physical, both of them kind of played the part, and I felt like I should just get off the trail. Saying all that, altogether, the mileage, I think I did about 80 miles. I did get to Summit Whitney, and I got to Summit Forester, going up New Army Pass. That was our first pass. That was so awesome. I really did enjoy the time that I was out there, and I'd love to go back sometime, but I've got to get my head in the right place if I'm going to do that, or I've got to have some of my family with me to help me get through it, because I can't be away from them. Even on shorter trips here out on the East Coast, I've always had a problem with, after a few days, I start getting to the point to where it's not as much fun for me to wake up and walk, even as beautiful as it is, and just being away from work and everything. It's still not, it's not good for me. Saying all that, I've really been kind of down about this. I feel like I've let my viewers down. I feel like I've let everybody down. It's kind of hard to admit defeat, which is basically what happened to me. I was defeated. And those things kind of kept me from making a video. Now I will say that on the way home from California, I did stop that night after I'd been driving about 12 hours, and I made a post on my blog's Facebook page stating, I was off the trail, stating what was going on. I didn't completely hide from it, but at the same time, when I got back, I didn't have it in me to make any kind of a video or write a post up or anything. I did share a few pictures on my Instagram page and over on my blog's Facebook page and on my personal page. As far as that's concerned too, to be quite honest, I had mixed feelings whenever I was out there. First off, I was just in awe so much. It was hard to figure out what I wanted to take pictures of or shoot video with. And also too, for a while, I've kind of been feeling like videos and photos and stuff kind of weighs me down while on the hike, because it's kind of like a job. I've been doing it for a long time and I don't want to stop doing it, but for some reason just everything happened on this hike that just made everything difficult. And as a result of that, I didn't really get a lot of video, I didn't really get a lot of pictures, and even if I wanted to, there's not really much stuff that I have to share with everybody. I think kind of going in, I knew that it wasn't going to be what I wanted. And I don't know, there was just a lot of stuff working against me. So, I could go on and mumble on. Everybody that watches my videos knows I can talk. But I could go on and on and on. I think maybe you can kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say and what happened, if you're still watching. But that kind of brings me into another potentially problematic area, and that's the future of my blog and my YouTube channel. I don't have any intentions on taking my blog or my YouTube channel down. However, I don't really know what or if there's going to be much else added to it. I don't know where my backpacking career is going to go from here. That was the only trip I took this year. I don't have any plans to take another trip. I kind of toyed with the idea of taking a trip at the end of October, but there's several things that's kind of keeping me from potentially doing that. So I'm not really making any plans for that. So I really don't know where I'm headed with my blog. I have thought several times about taking Facebook down, because Facebook is a pain in the ass. I love it because I can get on there and find information about stuff, but it's really a pain in the ass. And I really don't. It really sucks you down. It's really easy to get drawn into it, and it's just full of crap. But because of that, there's been a number of times I've wanted to just completely turn my Facebook page off. However, if I turn my personal Facebook page off, I'm pretty sure I can't continue operating my blog's Facebook page. So eventually one day that may come down. I don't know. I really would like to get rid of my Facebook account, but then again, there are some pages that I do enjoy being a member on and drawing information from, and I can't be a part of those pages if I don't have a profile or whatever. So I don't know what that's going to be like. Also, too, I will say that I've been trying to do things that involves my family more, and I understand they don't enjoy getting out there backpacking as much as I do. So one thing that we have been trying to do is RV life, and I'm actually sitting in my camper right now. It's a little 21-foot Starcraft Autumn Ridge camper. I have really been enjoying this since April, and honestly that was part of there was some of this stuff mixed up with the whole going to do the JMT thing too, that kind of made things difficult. But this allows us to get out and camp or glamp a lot more than what we were doing. And we can all do it a little more comfortably as a family. And I think that means something more. Being able to get out there together is more important than getting out there and doing some of these exotic trips. But don't get me wrong, I cannot tell you how much I want to go back out there and do that. I can't tell you how much there are other hikes that I want to do. But at this point, I'm afraid to try and make plans to do those because I know that I can't do it. At least not at this point in my life. So the camper thing it's been a lot of fun. It's gave me something to get my mind off of everything that happened, but also continue to get out there and do stuff. And I will say that this year, I have been camping more this year than I have in the past probably 10 years. And I'm not talking about backpacking, I'm talking about car camping. The way my call or my work works out is I'm on call every other week, so I can't really go anywhere or do anything every other week. However, since we bought this thing in April, we have been out every other weekend except for that time, the week and a half or 2 weeks that I was going to California. We didn't get out then with the camper. And then this is the very first weekend that I've been off call and we did not go camping. So I think we've taken 10 camping trips in this thing this year. And it really is a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying the camper thing and doing stuff with it. It's a lot of fun. And so I kind of feel like this is kind of where my outdoor experience is going to be for a while, is with my camper. However, I am hoping to be able to take this one step closer and kind of mingle it with some backpacking stuff. I would really like to do some boondocking and be able to take it out in areas that maybe I could park it and do at least day hikes or even overnight hikes and be able to come back to my camper. And using it in that aspect. But there's a lot to do to get a camper ready to boondock as far as power needs, and not only that, our tow vehicle we need to get a better our tow vehicle that's able to pull more. So anyway, I've been rambling and I ended up in a completely different place than what I thought I would be for this video. But I wanted to kind of give some explanation for why I've been so quiet since my JMT hike, especially considering I wasn't really blowing things up, but I was making a number of posts, and I haven't really, I've been responding to a lot of people's questions and stuff, but I haven't proactively put anything out there for others to say, okay, this is what happened. So that's kind of what this video was supposed to be for, and I hope that it kind of explained or answered any questions that some people may have that's been waiting on some other type of video from me. I will say that I still enjoy answering questions, talking about backpacking gear, and call it armchair backpacking if you want to. I do have experience backpacking. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to tell you something that I don't know the answer to. But if you have any comments or questions or just want to talk or whatever, I'm happy to do that. I still enjoy talking about it. I still want to go out there and do it. It's just that I'm at a point to where I've got to figure out how it's going to work out. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because I'm sure, I don't even know how long this video has been going, but it's probably been a minute. I appreciate you watching. If you do have any comments or questions, just post them below, and I'll get back to you. And I appreciate you watching. I appreciate everybody that's followed along over the years. I feel like I've helped a lot of people out, and there's been a lot of people that's helped me out. I've enjoyed the ride. Looking forward to getting on the bike again, putting on the pack again. I just got to figure out when. Thanks, everybody.